Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri Siddaramaiah ji, Minister of Consumer Affairs, and my colleague in Central Cabinet, Sri Prahlad Joshi, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri D.K. Shivakumar ji, Sri M.B. Patil, Minister of Large and Medium Industries, Government of Karnataka, Sri Yash Darshanapur, Minister of Small Scale Industry and Public Enterprises, Government of Karnataka, all honorable dignitaries, officers from Government of Karnataka, Government of India, CEOs, CMDs of Indian and foreign industries, young entrepreneurs, business leaders, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. When I came to Bengaluru on Saturday, I came to know about Siddaramaiah ji, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, about his injury. It is good to see him here, and it indicates he is fast recovering from the injury. In politics, keeping your legs safe is very important. In politics, keeping your legs safe is very important. And you have to be very mindful because you will stumbling blocks everywhere. Siddaramaiah ji is a seasoned politician and he has been safely crossing all hurdles on his way. And today he is the Chief Minister of Karnataka, and I am very confident that he will recover quickly from this injury. I wish him speedy recovery. My friends, first and foremost, I express my deepest reverence to the sacred land of Karnataka. This land has been graced by the wisdom and legacy of the great saint poets like Sant Baswanna, Alma Prabhu, Akka Mahadevi, Purandara Das, and Kanak Das. It is always a profound honor and privilege for me to be here. The visionary and dynamic Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri Siddaramaiah ji, has graciously invited me to this event. We belong to different political parties and we are political opponents. His magnanimous gesture eloquently declares his statesmanship, which rises above limited considerations to work together in the spirit of fraternal ties which bind all of us. His invitation and my acceptance show that in the pursuit of the national interest, we stand united, unmindful of the political differences. Friends, I have always shared a special bond with Karnataka. This land has continuously blessed me with immense love and affection. Karnataka is the unique confluence of the divine grace of the goddess Saraswati and the goddess Lakshmi. Karnataka has the perfect blend of knowledge and prosperity. The people of Karnataka are blessed not only by goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of wisdom, but also by goddess Lakshmi, the embodiment of wealth and prosperity. Friends, according to the classical political science, be it the central government or the state government, we are all integral parts of the Indian state. We thrive on the bedrock of constitutional values. These values remind us that while our political ideologies may differ, when it comes to the progress and development of our nation, we rise above our differences and stand united on a common platform. Friends, I would like to remind everyone of the profound words of our former Prime Minister, the Reverend Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. He once said सरकारें आएंगी, जाएंगी, पार्टियां बनेंगी, बिगड़ेंगी, मगर ये देश रहना चाहिए। और फॉर्मर प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी told. His words serve as a timeless reminder that above all political differences, the unity, integrity, and progress of our country must always remain our highest priority. Friends, our constitutional values are deeply rooted in our rich history of political tolerance and acceptance of opposition. Our history presents numerous examples where, even in times of war between two rulers, battles were fought with honor, adhering to established principles of warfare. More importantly, the defeated rulers were often treated with dignity and respect. In many instances, their kingdoms were even restored to them. In India, historically, political rivalry was rarely seen as a matter of life and death. Instead, it was largely governed by ethics, mutual respect, and a deep-rooted sense of justice. Friends, whenever I speak about the investors like you, I always focus on the value proposition for the prospective investors. If I urge you to invest your capital or the capital entrusted to you by those who trust your judgment, I must provide a clear and compelling reason. So I see my role here as that of an advocate standing before a distinguished jury of investors. My purpose today is to make a strong and persuasive case for Karnataka state. Friends, Karnataka offers everything you seek in an investment destination. No matter what your investment requirements are, Karnataka provides a good foundation for growth and success. Friends, it is an investor. You seek world-class infrastructure. Karnataka is now offering next-generation infrastructure facilities. If you require skilled human resources, Karnataka stands out with its highly talented and future-ready workforce. Friends, in India, we have actively worked to address the challenges that investors previously faced. The cumbersome process of obtaining multiple clearances has been replaced by a single window system, ensuring a faster and hassle-free experience. Beyond the streamlined processes, investors also need a strong market demand for their products. When it comes to consumption, India is already one of the world's fastest growing markets. Several recent economic decisions are expected to further strengthen the demand environment. On one hand, the Reserve Bank of India has reduced the repo rate from 6.5% to 6.25%, making borrowing more affordable. On the other hand, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, the Government of India has introduced a massive income tax cut in this year's budget announcement, and now individuals earning up to rupees 20 lakh annually are completely exempt from income tax. This significant tax relief will substantially increase the disposable income of our people. And as we all know, higher demand leads to a stronger business growth for the investor firms. Friends, for any investor, the biggest concern before making an investment is uncertainty. Whenever I have interacted with leaders of large industries or entrepreneurs from the MSME sector, one common challenge they highlight is the uncertainty. Investors worry that they might invest in a promising sector today only to face unexpected policy changes later, which could disrupt their plans and profits. This issue of uncertainty is not just limited to India. It is a global challenge that affects investment decisions everywhere. When I speak about the policy uncertainty, I want to emphasize a crucial point. Today, across all levels of governance in India, including the central government, state governments, and the local body, there is a broad consensus that sustainable economic development must be driven by a market-led economy, with the private sector playing a leadership role. This shared commitment provides a stable and predictable policy environment, ensuring that businesses can invest with confidence of policy continuity. When our Honorable Prime Minister was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he pioneered the tradition of hosting investor summits. Today, this tradition has been embraced by almost every state in India, which is a positive development of our economy. In the past, investors faced numerous challenges, and one of the biggest hurdles was red tape. However, times have changed. Today, India no longer presents red tape to investors. Instead, we roll out the red carpet for them. This kind of cross-political party consensus on promoting investment plays a crucial role in reducing uncertainty for our investors. Friends, as I invite all of you to invest in Karnataka, one of the most compelling elements of my value proposition is Bengaluru. As India's technological capital, Bengaluru not only creates the future of India, but also shapes it, driving innovation and progress at national and global scale. Being home to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and a thriving aerospace industry, Bengaluru plays a pivotal role in India's ascent to the skies. Friends, we have moved beyond the era of IT and software and stepped into the age of artificial intelligence. It is Bengaluru which laid the foundation of India's software industry. I have immense faith in the talent and the innovation of Bengaluru youth. Just as this city gave India its software technology foundation, I am confident that in the near future, Bengaluru will give India its first foundational artificial intelligence model. Once Mahatma Gandhi gave us a talisman, a guiding principle for decision making. He urged us to consider the interest of the most marginalized person before making any decision. In a similar spirit, I want to offer you a talisman of my own. Whenever you have doubts about India's future or India's potential, just do one thing: come to Bengaluru. Visit this city and witness its thriving IT industry, its dynamic startup ecosystem, and its young, innovative entrepreneurs and technologists. When you see firsthand the energy, ambition, and the groundbreaking work happening here, all your doubts about India's future will fade away. Your uncertainties will disappear, and your confidence in India's limitless potential will grow stronger than ever. Friends, beyond all these factors, there is an even bigger advantage. When you invest in Karnataka, you are not just gaining access to Karnataka's resources, you have the strength of the entire nation standing with Karnataka. India's economic ecosystem is deeply integrated, which means investing here gives you access to the country's vast and diverse resources. If your business requires minerals, you can source them from Chhattisgarh and Odisha. If you need skilled manpower, the hard-working professionals from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar will be ready to contribute. If your supply chain depends on MSME's output, you will find robust support from Noida and Coimbator's MSME entities. When you invest in Karnataka, you are not just investing in one state, you are tapping into the collective strength of India's vast resources and a colossal talent pool. Today, India is in the era of the cooperative federalism, where we'll work with the true spirit of Team India. A remarkable example of this is the GST framework, in which representatives from both the central and state governments come together to collectively decide tax rates through consensus. This is the testament the central and state governments are collaborating to save the country's economy. Friends, I believe that one of the biggest reasons behind the growing culture of cooperative federalism in India today is the leadership experience of our Honorable Prime Minister, who himself served as the Chief Minister of Gujarat for many years. I too have had the honor of serving as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. This first-hand experience of governance at the state level has given us a deep understanding of the importance of cooperation between the center and states. And today, India's cooperative federalism is stronger than ever before. Friends, I firmly believe that for all of you, this is the moment and the perfect time to invest. The opportunity before you is unprecedented. Now is the time to grab it. By investing today, you are not only unlocking new avenues for your own success, but also contributing to the economic growth of Karnataka and the nation as a whole. You are all seasoned investors, and in your language, terms like going short and going long hold great significance. When you anticipate that the value of an asset is going to decline, you choose to go short. Conversely, when you see strong potential for growth and believe that an asset's value will rise, you go long. And if you look at the recent past, one thing is clear. Those who went short on India and its people's future saw their success and fame fade away just as quickly. On the other hand, those who went long on India and its immense potential have witnessed sustained success, lasting impact, and enduring growth. That is why today I urge all of you to think for the long term, invest with confidence, and make the right choice, and all of you should go long on India. I once again extend a warm invitation to all of you to invest in Karnataka. The role that investors, business leaders, and industry captains like you have played in driving India's growth is truly remarkable. Your contributions have been instrumental in shaping the nation's economic progress. A lot more needs to be done towards the national objective of becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. Together, we will get job done. Thank you very much. So nice.
Honorable Raksha Mantri and senior most cabinet minister in Modi government, Shri Rajnath Singh ji, Honorable Chief Minister and the senior most leader of the country, Shri Siddaramaiah, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar, the person behind this entire exercise and who is working from last 2-3 months for the success of this event, Shri M.B. Patil, all other industry leaders from the country and outside the country, all other participants and media friends, Namaskara to all. Today we are witness to the inaugural function of the Invest Karnataka, the Global Investor Meet 2025. I am sure the 3-day event is surely going to provide platforms of the effective collaboratives. The Government of India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has ensured and trying to ensure continuously competitive federalism, which nudges the state to perform and outperform its peers. The 15th edition of Aero India show is also going on in Bengaluru. I think it is a coincidence. The investors who are coming there also, they are joining here also. And people who are here, they are going there also. This is a great coincidence. Initially, I asked Dr. M.B. Patil, why you have kept both the days which are coinciding. But today, after looking at so many industry leaders, I felt that coincidence has really gone well. The Invest Karnataka in 22, I had spoken about the major conscious push what we should give for the development of the infrastructure. According to me, the India, which is now the 5th largest economy, is going to become the 3rd largest economy very shortly. When we want to become the 3rd largest economy, the people from the all over world, they come to India, they come to Bengaluru, they come to Karnataka because of 2 things. One is, we are a very big consumer state. I mean, we are a very, very big consumer country with 140 crore population. तो बेचने के लिए तो लोग आएंगे ही आएंगे. Second is, this manpower, the young manpower, anywhere this credible young manpower, young human resource is not available. So what is need is create best infrastructure, provide the power, not political power, electric power at the affordable price. Third is water. If you provide all these things with the development of skill, scale and speed, skill, scale and speed, infrastructure, that is road, rail, port, airport, then power, electric power and water, these two things can bring the change in the entire country, achieve the height, and we are going to become Vikasit, the height, and we are going to become Vikasit Bharat as envisaged by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. See, we can imagine in last 10 years, from 70 airports to 150 airports, and almost many of them are operating. And in Udan 3, now we are taking Ballari, Kolar, Kushalnagar, Raichur and Hassan. Similarly, in entire country, 120 more destinations have been announced in the budget 2024-2025 and shall be made operational in days to come. The metro, we are the third largest metro network in the world today, and also Namma Metro Phase 3, which recently the Central Cabinet approved 15,611 crores, would position Bengaluru Metro as one of the longest metro connected cities in the world with the 200 kilometers metro line. As the whole of India, we are having the third largest connectivity as far as metro is concerned. And today, India has crossed 1,000 kilometers of the metro network. Bengaluru, known for its technological advancement, and is poised to make the history by manufacturing India's first high-speed train. It is also known for the startup ecosystem. Today we have more than 1 lakh startups in the country, and the recent budget, we have provided fund of funds to support these startups with 1,000 crores. And to create infrastructure, highway development phase has been increased in last 10 years and also continued to work from the India has taken a top 5 global economy, as already I said, and under the Sagarmala, Karnataka is one of the main beneficiaries where the 8 projects worth 500 crore currently being implemented. To ensure the development, we are also adding in Karnataka and in the country overall rail network and road network also. India has recently achieved commendable feat by crossing 100 gigawatt of solar energy and 220 gigawatt of the renewable energy in the country. 220 gigawatt, and we need to achieve 500 gigawatt by 2030. The PM Suryaghar Muft Bijli Yojana and PM Kusum, which provides power for the irrigation, the PM Kusum are revolutionizing the solar energy. And also I am very happy to announce you in presence of Honorable Raksha Mantri and Honorable Chief Minister, India is third highest producer of the renewable energy in the world today and third highest power producer through solar in the world today. The growth of our country depends, as I said, basically on the power. Because the power, if it is supplied at an affordable price, then there will be attraction for the industry along with the other infrastructure. If you have everything, if you do not have proper road, communication, conveyance, then also there will be problem. That's why we all need together in the entire country. I am not only speaking of Karnataka, but Karnataka, since it is the leading state, progressive state, doing well as far as industry and the business, we need to develop more infrastructure so that in coming days we can be number one state in the entire country. This confidence I have today. PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, 1.2 trillion initiative is transforming the India's infrastructure, and this plan improves the logistic efficiently. As a result of these initiatives, there has been a record infrastructure expansion. The 500% growth in the road transport, highways, and moreover, the national highway network has been expanded by 60% in recent years. In 60 years, railway electrification was 21,000 kilometers, and today it is 41,000 kilometers as on today. These are the changes which will really attract the investment and all put together. I am not telling whatever has been done, it is just done by this government or that government or our government or your government. When state and center together we work, we can create infrastructure, and that will facilitate industries, facilitate business people to come and invest. I think Karnataka progressively and enthusiastically, this is the 15th edition of the Invest Karnataka. Every time, whichever government may be there, they are putting the best effort. And even this time, Dr. M.B. Patil was telling me that more than 3.5 lakh crore investment has been assured. 10 lakh crore. I'm sorry, 10 lakh crore has been assured. I congratulate both Chief Minister and M.B. Patil and Deputy Chief Minister and all their colleagues for making such a big effort. I wish this event a great success, and all together, whatever needed cooperation from the center is needed. As a representative of the central government from the Karnataka, I will stand by you and support so that we can achieve, and we should make Karnataka as the number one state as far as GDP, as far as overall growth is concerned, and we should be a model state for the entire, not only for the entire country, to the entire world. Once again, I thank Honorable Chief Minister and Mr. M.B. Patil, who was continuously there for more than a week in Delhi, and we all together we went to so many ministers, including Sri Rajnath Singh Ji. Actually, Rajnath Singh Ji had many engagements. More than 20 defense ministers of the world have come here, but in spite of his busy schedule, because he has lot of love and affection for the Karnataka and people of the Karnataka, he has postponed some of his bilateral talks today, and he is here. I am thankful to you also, sir. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Once again, I am thankful to Chief Minister and M.B. Patil for calling me here. I wish all the best. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನಾ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ to the inaugural function of Invest Karnataka 2025, we have our Chief Minister on the dais, Sri Siddaramaiah Ji, with whose support and guidance we have conducted this global investors meet, and the state is thriving ahead in the industrial revolution. Sri Siddaramaiah Ji, Honorable Defence Minister who delivers this talk, Sri Rajnath Singh Ji, Prahlad Joshi Ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri D.K. Shivakumar Ji, Anand Mahindra Ji, Chairperson of Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Sajjan Jindal Ji, Chairman of JSW Group, Madam Kiran Mujumdar Shaw Ji, Chairperson and founder of Biocon, Mrs. Gisdantli Kirloskar Ji, Chairperson and MD Kirloskar Systems, Rahul Munjil Ji, Chairperson and MD Hero Future Energies, Mr. Shesha Varadarajan Ji, Senior Vice President Lam Research, Prashant Pakaji, Founding Partner Excel India, Sudarshan Venuji, MD TVS Motors, Mr. Michael Briggs Ji, President of NIDEC, all my senior minister colleagues and all my minister colleagues, political leaders, Chief Secretary of Government of Karnataka and other senior officers, His Excellency ambassadors of various countries, consul generals, honorary consuls, country delegates, members of parliament, members of legislative assembly, members of legislative council, esteemed delegates, all industry association members, industry leaders, government officials, friends from media, and everybody present here, a very warm welcome to you. Today, as we gather in Bangalore, we stand not just at the dawn of a new era, but on the shoulders of over a century of pioneering innovation and industrial excellence. From the times of Vijayanagara Empire to today's Silicon Valley, Namma Karnataka has always been a land of visionaries. When India dreams of technological advancement, it looks to Karnataka. It's not just our history, it is the foundation upon which we are building Karnataka's future. Karnataka has always been a land of first, pioneering innovation, driving progress, and shaping India's future. We were home to India's first mass-produced green electric car, country's first hydroelectric plant at Sushamandra in 1905, India's first unmanned Earth satellite, Aryabhatta, first state in the country where private radio station was set up, first state to launch an EV policy, and the list goes on, and will be now soon unveiling our clean mobility policy. We have been first in the past. We are first today across sectors such as aerospace and defense, machine tools, IT, biotech, and we will continue to lead the way through innovation, resilience, and vision. In today's rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape, global supply chains are being reshaped. The China Plus One strategy has led many companies to diversify their manufacturing bases, and uncertainties like the Russia-Ukraine war and economic instability have underscored the need for resilience. Therefore, in this context, we have selected the theme of reimagining growth here. Karnataka is truly focused on reimagining growth by positioning itself as a global manufacturing and innovation hub, offering stability, world-class infrastructure, and progressive policies that cater to these shifting dynamics. Our sub-themes for this year are tech-driven, green, inclusive, and resilient. The future belongs to economies that harness technology to drive efficiency, attract investments, and create competitive industries. Karnataka has always been a pioneer in leveraging digital transformation to accelerate business growth. To reinforce this, we have revamped our single window system, making it a comprehensive digital platform that offers over 130 business services across 30 plus departments. Features like GIS-based land availability tool and multilingual AI chatbot shall enhance transparency, reduce delays, and make Karnataka the most investor-friendly state in India. Giving sustainability in central to global economic strategies, industries must transition towards low-carbon, eco-friendly practices. In line with this objective, Karnataka is leading India's green industrial revolution, embedding sustainability at the core. We have a clear focus on sustainability through net zero industrial parks, with proposed incentives for sustainability and energy efficient measures, ensuring businesses can scale while staying environmentally responsible. Economic progress must be equitable and widespread, ensuring opportunities for all. Karnataka is fostering inclusive growth through the new industrial policy, which will be launched today, incentivizing industries that prioritize female workforce participation. We are one of the first states to provide higher incentives for greater women workforce participation. Our new industrial policy provides enhanced incentives for Zone 1 and Zone 2 districts, driving balanced regional development. We are providing talukas classified as more backward and most backward as per the Nanjundappa report with 3% and 5% higher incentives. In addition, we have also expanded the coverage of Zone 1 to ensure higher incentives reach previously unreserved regions. In an era of increasing global uncertainty, Karnataka is investing in resilience by fostering innovation-driven ecosystems. One of our most ambitious projects is Twin City, Karnataka's world-class innovation hub, built around knowledge, well-being, and innovation. This integrated city aims to bring together industry, academia, and government in a single ecosystem to serve as a launchpad for the next wave of global innovation. We salute our MSMEs and entrepreneurs, the backbone of Karnataka's industrial success. With over 8 lakh MSMEs employing more than 55 lakh people, they drive innovation, job creation, and economic resilience. As we say in Kannada, ಬೇರುಗಳು ಆಳವಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಮರವು ತನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ. If the roots are deep, the tree can grow as tall as it wants. This is the foundation we are building. Karnataka is a powerhouse of industrial development supported by the KDB's creation of 200 plus industrial areas spanning 85,000 plus acres and accommodating around 25,000 units. The state strategically employs a cluster-based approach to minimize cost and maximize efficiency, fostering specialized hubs like the aerospace and defense clusters, EV manufacturing cluster, advanced pharma park, deep tech park, drone park, etc., along with unique zones like the Japanese industrial township. These shall serve as cutting-edge hubs for manufacturing and R&D, further strengthening Karnataka's position in the respective sectors. We have also recently passed notification of 12 plus industrial areas as special investment regions covering an area of more than 30,000 acres. This will further ensure development of world-class infrastructure. Our new industrial policy represents our commitment to support specific needs of investors. We have introduced flexible subsidy options, allowing investors to choose between production-linked incentives and capital subsidy. Companies co-locating their R&D centers with manufacturing units receive an additional incentive because we believe in fostering innovation alongside production. We are also restructuring our investment promotion arm, Invest Karnataka Forum, to match global standards. IKF will now be better equipped to drive invest promotion and facilitate business growth. Collaboration is at the heart of our approach to driving industrial growth. To ensure continuous engagement with industry leaders and align our policies with market needs, we have established 9 vision groups across key sectors. Through these vision groups, we actively seek and implement industry's feedback, ensuring our policies and initiatives align with real business needs. We want to ensure Invest Karnataka 2025 is not just another investors meet, it represents our vision to collaborate growth on a global scale. We are proud to have 19 country partners and 10 country pavilions showcasing Karnataka's emergence as a truly global investment destination. Our speaker lineup includes many global thought leaders. This diverse international participation brings a truly global perspective to our discussion and partnership. In addition, we are focusing not just on attracting investments, but on grounding them. Our emphasis is on real-time discussions, collaborative learning, and accelerated project implementation. From Amma Bangalore to Tokyo, from Mysuru to New York, Karnataka's excellence is being recognized globally. Our international roadshows across Japan, South Korea, Europe, and US generated tremendous investment interest and appreciation for the intersection of culture and industries in Karnataka. As we inaugurate the Global Investors Meet today, as the world is witnessing a new kind of growth, I invite you to be part of Karnataka's story. Together, let's build a future that honors our rich legacy while embracing new frontiers where technology meets tradition, where innovation drives inclusion, and where global aspirations meet local excellence. Thank you. Once again, welcome to Invest Karnataka 2025. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Sri D.K. Shivkumar, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka,
ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്
Sri M.B. Patil, Honorable Minister for Large and Medium Scale Industries and Infrastructure Development, Government of Karnataka, all my cabinet colleagues, all MLAs and MLCs who are present here, Srimati Shalini Rajneesh, Chief Secretary, Government of Karnataka, all distinguished guests on the dais, my fellow Kannadigas and friends from around the world, officers of the state, friends from media. It is my privilege to welcome you all to Karnataka, the land of innovation, enterprise, and boundless opportunities. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed dignitaries present here today. A special welcome to the global investors, industry leaders, policy makers, diplomats, and innovators who have gathered here to explore the vast opportunities that Karnataka offers. I also acknowledge the efforts of our government officials, industry associations, and all stakeholders who have worked tirelessly to make this global investors meet a grand success. Together, let us embark on a journey of collaboration, innovation, and shared prosperity. Karnataka has always been at the forefront of India's economic transformation, and today we reaffirm the commitment of being the most investor-friendly state in the country. With a stable policy environment, proactive governance, and a business-friendly ecosystem, we ensure that every investment made here thrives and contributes to inclusive and sustainable growth. Karnataka was a major center for weaving, metallurgy, temple-based craftsmanship, and trade during dynasties like the Kadambas, Gangas, Chalukyas, Hoysalas, Vijayanagara Empire, and Mysore Wadiyars. The famous Bidri ware, Mysore silk weaving, and sandalwood carving flourished under royal patronage, laying the foundation for Karnataka's rich industrial heritage. The Mysore Iron and Steel Works, established in 1923, was one of India's first major steel industries set up under the visionary leadership of Sri Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar. The Mysore silk industry, initiated under the Wadiyar kings, gained prominence and became global symbol of luxury, a legacy that continues today. The Mysore silk industry, initiated under the Wadiyar kings, and prominence and became global symbol of luxury, a legacy that continues today. The coffee and plantation economy flourished in the Coorg and Chikmagaluru, making Karnataka the coffee capital of India, a distinction it holds to this day. Karnataka has been the backbone of India's industrial growth home to legendary public sector enterprises such as HAL, BEL, BML, etc. Karnataka is home to world-class institutions like IISc, IIM, Bengaluru, NLSUI, SIU, and 2000 and plus engineering and medical colleges producing top talent annually. With 400 plus R&D centers in biotech, all robotics and space, it stands as India's intellectual hub, actively upskilling youth in emerging sectors through academia-industry collaboration. Karnataka prioritizes responsible, sustainable growth, leading in green economy, eco-friendly industrial clusters, and sustainable urban development. It is India top solar energy producer and leader in wind energy, electric mobility, and sustainable urban development. The Beyond Bengaluru initiatives ensures the balanced industrial growth across the state while maintaining environmental responsibility. Bengaluru combines world-class business opportunities with a pleasant climate, attracting top talent and earning its title as the Silicon Valley of India. With cosmopolitan culture, premier institutions, and a high standard of living, it offers businesses, growth, and employees an unmatched work-life balance, making Karnataka an ideal investment destination. Karnataka's thriving tourism and service industry, with its rich cultural heritage, scenic landscapes, and world-class infrastructure, make it a top destination for global travelers and investors alike. Karnataka is a leader in aviation connectivity, with many well-connected airports across the state, including the Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru, a global hub for passengers and cargo, and several others under the construction to further boost regional and international connectivity. We are actively identifying the suitable locations to fast-track the establishment of Bengaluru's second international airport, further boosting the city's global connectivity and economic potential. Karnataka's 320-kilometer long coastline, dotted with vibrant ports, plays a crucial role in boosting maritime trade, fisheries, and coastal tourism. Karnataka, with over 15,000 startups and 40-plus unicorns, is India's largest startup hub and among the top five globally. Initiatives like Elevate 100 and Beyond Bengaluru are driving innovation in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, reinforcing its leadership in digital transformation. Karnataka is positioning itself as the go-to destination for semiconductor manufacturing with major investments and Intel, TSMC, and Micron. Karnataka accounts for 60% of India's electronic product exports, making it a global supplier of next-gen chips and devices. Karnataka contributes over 40% of India's software exports, with the presence of major tech giants like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Karnataka is investing AI-driven governance, blockchain adoption, and good computing ecosystems to future-proof the digital economy. Karnataka is the EV capital of India, with Tesla, Ola Electronic, Artha Ather Energy and Mahindra Electric investing heavily in the state. Karnataka is India's largest aerospace hub with more than 65% of the aerospace and defense manufacturing happening here. The state is a leader in silk production and garment exports, creating lakhs of jobs, especially for women. The state leads in biotech research, vaccines, and life sciences, make it a prime destination for medical R&D. Karnataka stands as a cornerstone of India's ore economy with its rich reserves of iron ore, gold, and other minerals driving industrial and economic growth. Twin City will be a dedicated innovation zone for A1 space tech, quantum computing, and biotech. Karnataka is developing LCT, a world-class medical hub catering to global healthcare needs, medical tourism, and super specialty treatments. From Bidar to Bangalore to Ballari, development will reach every corner of our state. We are creating specialized industrial clusters tailored to local strength, ensuring that every region thrives. Karnataka ensures a strengthened and robust law and order system to safeguard the interests of everyone, including investors, fostering a secure and business-friendly environment. The Future of Innovation Expo at Global Investors Meet Invest Karnataka 2025 will showcase cutting-edge advancements from 40+ global industry leaders and startups spanning drone technology, space technology, agri-tech, health technology, and autonomous solutions for manufacturing, aerospace, and defense. The new industrial policy 2025-30 outlines Karnataka's ambitious vision to drive innovation, sustainability, and inclusive growth, aiming for 12% annual growth rate in manufacturing sector, while targeting 7.5 lakh rupees crore investments and creating 20 lakh jobs by 2030. Karnataka is the ideal destination for future-ready investments with its strong policies, world-class infrastructure, skilled workforce, and focus on sustainability. We are building ecosystems that drive growth, create jobs, and enable global ambitions. Our digital systems, streamlined processes, and robust support mechanisms ensure ease of doing business. From IT to manufacturing, deep tech to renewable energy, and aerospace to healthcare, Karnataka is committed to fostering success and leading the way forward. To all the global investors gathered here, I say this: the time to invest in Karnataka is now. Partner with us, innovate with us, and grow with us. Let us script a new chapter of success and prosperity. I look forward to welcoming you to Karnataka's growth story, where opportunities are limitless and the future is brighter than ever. Thank you, and I wish this Global Investors Meet a great success.
To all of you, I know you all have been tired. I don't want to make a big speech, but still, I would like to thank all of you, honorable dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues, Mr. M.B. Patil and all my colleagues, Mr. Priyank Karge is there, Mr. George is there, and all the ambassadors of Karnataka who have invested here. I thank all the investors who have come to Karnataka and be a part of the great investment you are helping us. As I stand here in Bangalore, a city where the first lighting was being done in 1904. First satellite for Indian space program was developed in Bangalore. Some of the world leading technique companies were being born. Technology meets the tradition. I am reminded of Mahatma Gandhiji once said, the future depends on what we do in the present. Today is one such moment. We all are here today for the future generation to come. The first global investors meet was in Karnataka in 2000 when Mr. S.M. Krishna was the chief minister and Sri Narayan Murthy of Infosys inaugurated that. Some of our friends like Kiran Mazumdar also participated in that. It is also a privilege to welcome you to the Global Investors Meet Karnataka 2025, where technology meets ideas and people and the future. When people visit India, they come for various reasons, culture, spiritual, and historical and business. But so when someone comes to Bangalore, they come out for all this and more than that is the city. We have beauty and uniquity of this extraordinary city of Bangalore. My friends in the dais was telling me about the history of Bangalore. Mr. Mahendra and Sajjan was remembering the earlier days when he used to travel in Bangalore when the traffic was not there. But today you need not worry. We are coming out to renew this city. This city will never run out of. Lot of issues are there. We are there to sort out the problem. You are in the right place. The city has given rise to some one of the world's biggest success stories, and today we are. The government stands committed, making Bangalore, Karnataka a successful platform to all of you and the future of the ambitions of hope. We are the Bangalore, the economic powerhouse driving India's future. We are Bangalore, the global hub of innovation, talent, and digital leadership. Seamlessly the power supply. We are Karnataka, we are the first choice of global investors. Bangalore, most popular city for the startup jobs. Bangalore continue to be the India's green capital and clean energy vibrant process. I don't want to much propaganda on Bangalore. You all know you all live here. But again, you know that Bangalore second airport which has started is all on the international map. Mr. M.B. Patil and my chief minister, all of us working for the second airport again. We are on the first greenfield. You should know that we developed a first greenfield airport on the PP route. And now we have about 40 to 50 million passengers per year. A leading destination in the world-class infrastructure also being seen here. The fastest growing residential stock market. Mr. Our TVS group is here. Some of our friends are there. Lot of friends are looking on the residential group or residential share also. Higher share of office space is being observed, almost 25%. Leading growth on commercial space is being seen in Bangalore. We are the leaders in talent pool with the best gender ratio of the top cities. Booming urban landscape where work meets the leisure. You know that we have, just now you saw some of my friends signing on the universities. We have more than 20 to 40 international schools, more than 100 tech parks, 50 five-star hotels, India's pub capital. You see, the entire country, Bangalore shares the pub culture is there in Bangalore. Today, we know that you all look at environment, culture and tradition. We stand the best education, looking at the environment and the best talent is being seen here. Karnataka is the world-class education institution thinking of governance. Bangalore city is full of human resources, highly institution, engineering colleges, medical colleges, paramedical colleges. You should know that, I think Sajjan was speaking, we have more than 250 engineering colleges, more than 70 medical colleges, more than 700 paramedical institutions. We have the best law colleges. This is the city of the world, which is entire India is seeing, the world is looking, Bangalore and Karnataka, India is looking at through Bangalore. This is what the world leaders are looking. So Bangalore is looking at mega infrastructure projects in Bangalore. I have been the Bangalore city minister planning for a twin tunnel, a double decker of almost 40 kilometers across Bangalore. Elevated corridor we are just looking out. Buffer roads we are looking out. A skydust deck we have been planning. I know you all are suffering with the traffic, but still I'm trying to come out with a solution. Have confidence on us. The last business corridor which we are just planning, I think it is coming a new shape. I have authorized some of our colleagues. Mr. Atik has been, I have given the responsibility to him. He is looking at, and I think in a few days we will announce the second airport also, where the second airport will be done. So as now we have just released our Karnataka investment policy, I think we are giving lot of opportunities for the younger generation, new generation, lot of incentives has been announced. We are not looking at only Bangalore. We are looking at beyond Bangalore. You please come invest on beyond Bangalore. We want to curb people coming to Bangalore because already Bangalore population has become 1.4 crores. Almost 1.1 crores our vehicle is been in Bangalore. So today, I request you, in this policy, as Mr. M.B. Patil was telling that, on this Nanjundappa report, we have identified the backward taluks, backward districts. We want to give more incentives, make production. So please come forward. Let us all join together, a large and ultra-large mega institutions where that we give an opportunity, you have to go beyond Bangalore. Apart from that, I am requesting all the investors we have come out with a new policy. My chief minister announced in the last budget, we want to see that younger generation should not come to Bangalore or city for education. We have come out, we want CSR to be used only for the primary education. So I appeal to all of you who have been working here. I don't want you to deviate your CSR funds. I want you to be a part of the government. You should invest on primary education along with the government. We don't want your money. We will give you a land. You build a building, a government schools, and you be a partner. Our institution managements have discussed with various education institutions. They are ready to take over the institution along with the government. They will partner with us. We want you to help Karnataka to be, already Karnataka is a knowledge capital. Still we want the rural boys to be more educated. We want them not to come. I appeal all the dignitaries to be a joint hand with the CSR. Let us build the future together. So I always tell, joining together is the beginning, thinking together is the progress, working together is the success. Let us all work together to make Karnataka and India proud. I thank you for your patience. I think almost 3 hours you have spent with us. I think next 3 days will be a very memorable day for all of us. You have come to invest, have confidence on us. This is a government not for signing. We have commitment. We will see that my industries minister, Mr. M.B. Patil, Mr. Priyank Kharge, I think all of us have joined looking at, and my power minister is here. We are expecting more than 10 lakh crore. Am I right, M.B. Patil? 10 lakh crore. I think Sajan is giving a thumbs up. Mahendra ji, I think your company also thumbs up. Huh? Okay. Thank you, all of you. I think I need not tell once again thanking you on behalf of vote of thanks. I think I will only convey that I know that you all have been tired. I thank all especially I would like to thank my official team, the Global Investors team, Invest Karnataka team, my officers, my bureaucrats. They have worked a lot, my media friends and all of them. And I would like to thank all the investors who have come forward to make Karnataka a very big global Center, and I would like to congratulate, thank my Central Union ministers who have been here, who are kind enough. So all of them, let us work together to make Karnataka and India proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka. Again, I welcome all of you to Karnataka.